Yes. Good night. Good night to Maarten. Good night to the wider world. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are tuning in here tonight. Of course, welcome to your favorite online internet program, www.sxmtalk.com, where you get live and serious discussion. And of course, like every night, yes, I got to say that to my friend, it's going to be a very interesting program for you tonight. He says, is every night an interesting program? Yes, every night is an interesting program because we get right down to the facts and the nitty-gritty with everything that is happening here on St. Maarten. And tonight is a special program. It's more of a presentation than a serious discussion because I'm actually in the studio here tonight with my colleague. Yes, we both work in the same office here at the Parliament building for the same faction. I'm talking about none other than Prince Herbert Martina. How should I call him? A school friend, colleague friend. It doesn't matter how I twist it, turn it. We go way back. We know each other from back in the days, from in Holland, from playing ball. Well, he was always an ace ball player, and I was always one of them coming off of the bench. But I always had my scoring power. But like I said, he's my colleague, and he's here tonight. And if you look around and you see on the table with our presentation, you can see we have some products on the table. And where are these products from? What are these products all about? What are we going to talk about? Well, 2 weeks ago, we made a trip to Panama where we had the opportunity to travel with some members of parliament. They was en route to Brazil to one of the Palatino meetings, and there was also members in Panama attending Palatino meetings. And as young aspiring politicians, we felt it, how should I say it, good for us to get our feet wet, for us to experience what happens at these meetings and stuff like that. And we also made contact with some friends of a member of parliament, and we looked into some produce, some projects and stuff that we have great intentions to bring here in St. Maarten. But tonight we'll be doing a comparison. We'll be talking about a trip. We'll be talking about the people we met. We'll be talking about the places we were at in Panama, the things we saw that really have our eyes open. And I remember one time doing a show where I said we are being ripped off on St. Maarten, and more, that trip to Panama has solidified my belief in that and my thought in that. However, let me introduce my colleague, Prince Herbert Martina. Prince, good night. Thank you for being on the program, my friend.
Thank you for having me here, Christopher.
Like I said, we discussed it in the office, when I said I would like you to come on tonight so we could talk about our, how should I have it? Very interested. It was exciting and interesting trip that we made to Panama. We actually was on both sides of Panama. For those who don't know, we have a lot of pictures of the Panama Canal, which is on the Pacific side of the country, known as Colon. And after we left Colon, we came on the other side, which is the Atlantic, the Caribbean side, the Gulf of Mexico side, right, that leads into the Caribbean Sea and stuff like that, which was in Panama City. So we really had our travel cut out for us. But like you can see on the table here, we have some products. And we're going to be talking about these products that we have here. But I'm going to leave Prince take it away. I'm going to leave he talk about what the trip meant for him, what he saw, how he felt, and, all he thought about it. Prince?
All right. First of all, let me just say that you mentioned in the beginning that we were being ripped off more and more, and even going to the trip to Panama, I realized that the only people are benefiting here, right, where shopping is concerned, is the shop owners, the supermarket owners. All right. Nowadays, you can't even do groceries with 400 guilders, come home with 400 guilders worth of groceries and be satisfied and feed you for the month. All right. This initiative here was not only a trip to get our feet wet, as you said. It was also an initiative to see what we can do about this, I would say, grave situation. All right. More and more, we see the basic necessities of daily life is being jacked up. We see the things that are healthy for us sky high. Yeah. It's outrageous. And this is an opportunity that we have to go and find places that we can get these produce, these vegetables, these fruits at a very low cost, and share with our people, St. Maarten. all right? And they're not necessarily cheap products. They are cost-effective products. There's a difference, all right? So that's basically what our initiative is.
And he's absolutely correct when he mentioned, the cost. We've been into Panama, and not only did we go there, but we've been to the factories, we've been to the fields, we've been to the guys, the farmers that are growing the stuff that we eat. And, we have a surprise for you guys. What I'm holding here in my hand, this is a guava. This is a guava from St. Maarten. Now, nowhere on St. Maarten can you go into a grocery store or supermarket and buy guavas. You can't do it because they simply don't have it. They don't, I mean, your neighbor will have a guava tree and he'll probably pick some and bring some for you. But I'm talking about across the board. Guavas, they call it the king of all fruits in Panama. This is a St. Maarten guava. Now, this is a Panamanian guava. This is a Panamanian guava. This is a St. Maarten guava, right? Look at the difference in size. This guava inside of it is white, and of course our guavas, as delicious as they are inside of it, is pink. But what I'm trying to show you is that this guava we are getting in Panama for 25 cents, 35 cents. It sounds a bit like, seriously? Yes.
Let me interject here. These fruits basically supposed to be indigenous to our people here, as Christopher just explained. The supermarkets do not cater. They do not cater, to have these fruits on the market. They call it exotic fruits. You can't see a passion fruit in the stores, or if you do, they go one time. But why don't they cater, to the public? Because there's no interest, there's no money in it. Now, we think that the people of St. Maarten wants exotic fruits. They want fruits that they are accustomed of, that they grew up on, all right?
Sugar apple.
All right. This is just one of the many examples that we have. The only difference is that Christopher pointed out, it's pink inside, the small one, St. Maarten guava, and this, the hybrid guava, it's white. It's just as tasty. It's actually, I won't say more delicious, but it's just as tasty.
It's sweet, as a matter of fact.
It is sweet.
I should have had a knife so I could have cut it in half and show them what it
how
looked like.
How we used to eat guava back in the days, we used to smash it.
We used to smash it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But that's just one of the many examples. All right. And next thing, he mentioned that we touch base with the farmers. I don't like watermelon, but I ate watermelon. I needed to taste the produce, the product, that we're bringing back.
Yeah.
And what delicious watermelon
we
was.
have some pictures. We have some pictures with yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Here you can see Christopher digging into some watermelon.
And that was like the third or the fourth one.
It was.
I don't sink my mouth in already because for us it was not only surprising, but it was exciting also to actually go into a field where you're seeing a row of watermelon from vine to vine to vine, and you actually have it in your hand. You're looking at it in your hand, and the guy said, well, take it, pick it. And, we picked the guava, gone back, we bust the watermelon open, and right then and there, you just, no washing, no nothing. They bust it open, slice it up, and you start to eat, and it is really, really a watermelon, because what one of the guys did was he cut a whole watermelon in half, and he took a spoon, and he started to eat it. Yeah. And at the end of that, the whole thing was filled with water, with juice.
Juice.
And the guy said, well, we don't just take this and just drain it out in a cup, drop some block of ice in it, and they got watermelon juice. So for us, it was very, very nice to see, because we import everything. And basically that's the number one mission that we came back to St. Maarten with, to introduce new produce, new products to St. Maarten, right? Not because the products are not up to standard, that have them at a cheaper price. No, it's because we made contact with a factory right then and there. Okay, so the prices are much cheaper. For example, Prince, right? Here you have a liter of water from Panama. This is from Panama. This is Panamanian water, bottled from the rainforest. This is our next one also, from Panama, bottled in from the rainforest and stuff in Panama. You gotta see it. It's amazing to see the distillery it goes through, the filters it goes through, and it coming from a river. And you're seeing the waterfall, you're seeing the river flowing, you're seeing how they collect it. But this in Panama, a liter, was 60 cents. 60 cents they're selling a liter of water for in Panama. Now, we can go into our stores here and buy blue water and buy everything, but you're not going to get it cheaper than $1. You're not going to get it cheaper than $1. Now, this in St. Maarten, which is Fiji water, this is more on the expensive side, but this is also a liter. This goes for $2.
The cheapest.
The cheapest. Right? This goes for $2. And it's to let you guys know, 60 cents retail. So this is like walking into the store and buying it retail. We ain't talking what the factory or the plant giving it to us for, you know. We talking about walking in a regular store and buying a liter of water for 60 cents retail. So Prince, when we look around St. Maarten and we see what is going on, something is wrong.
Definitely. Whatever the debate is about growing our own products, and let's leave it as that, all right? Whatever the debate, not enough land, our people are not educated enough. We went and we sought, you can say, a short-term or immediate action. We went in and we said, listen, this is a necessity. What we're going to do, there must be produce at a cheaper price that we can give to our people. It's impossible. You go now and I saw watermelon on sale for $10.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And how much was giving us that watermelon? I think there's a picture with me holding $1. $1 how much?
Well, it was less than $2.
Yeah,
for a whole watermelon.
For a whole watermelon.
All right?
Yeah.
And our initiative, you know, everybody wants to, and starting out a business wants to make you know, their overhead and everything. But our initiative is basically for the people of St. Maarten. All right, it's impossible that someone can get a watermelon for $2, right, and make 500% markup on that. I mean, what is that?
And $2 is a high end. You know?
Exactly.
$2 is a high end.
St. Maarten being a duty free, you know, we have a duty free port, and what happened? We don't pay duties, and still, what happens? These people have a 500% markup on a basic necessity. It's appalling. All right. Coming back to the water, right? If you take a look, and if I can see this water, on a normal TV, but this is internet TV. I can, you know, call names and we can show brands. Fiji, right? Water. And you look at Panama Blue, it's basically next to the same packaging. All right. And I've tasted Fiji before, which is a nice water. $2 at a low end, $2.50 at some places even selling out for $4. All right. This retail, not even 79 cents.
Nope.
All right. That's retail.
Same liter.
All right. So my question is, if this is 79 cents retail, how much more of a better price we can get it at the factory and introduce it to our people?
Yep.
All right. I mean, it's crazy.
And you know, for those who listen to me many times when I had a backyard program, and when I also used to host Lloyd program, I used to talk about the price of tuna, because I'm a guy, I eat tuna.
He loves
for the
his
protein
tuna.
content and stuff. I'm mostly a vegetarian, if you want to put it that way, because I don't eat no sort of meat. I don't really like fish at that, but I'm very selective in my fishes that I eat, and tuna is one of them that I eat most of the time. And this is one of the most famous tin producer of products on St. Martin, Starkist tuna, whether you have it in oil or whether you have it in water. Now, in St. Martin, this is $2.25. I think that's $1.25, correct me if I'm wrong. But across from Sunny Food, you can get it for $1.80, which is $1, right? You're not going to get this on St. Martin that I know of, to most of the stores that I went into, nowhere cheaper than $1. You're not going to get it nowhere cheaper than $1. In Panama, they also canned tuna. They also can tuna. And now, Starkist is imported in Panama, but they have their own brands. But we saw the same tuna, canned, everything in Panama, for 34 cents, retail. Some of them, depending on the quality, depending on the content, depending on how much they have inside, went up to 43 cents. And in comparison to the monies, Panama Balboa, that's the name of it, which is $1 in Panama, is 1-to-1, is equal to the American dollar. So when you hear me say 43 cents, I'm comparing it to 43 American cents. But what I am trying to bring up here is 43 cents retail. Nowhere in cinema. Now, I understand you have to import it. I understand the shipping fees. I understand that containers, and they just levy another price on the containers for the bridge and everything. Yeah. Okay. However, 43 cents for a tin of tuna, 43 cents for a tin of tuna in Panama. And here in St. Martin, the lowest you'll get it for is $1. That's the lowest you'll get it for. Remember when we saw the Goya products? Now, this is the interesting one, right? His Spanish is impeccable. All I know really in Spanish is one word: cuánto. I was told that all I need to know in Spanish is how much. Cuánto. That's all I needed to know. His Spanish is much better than mine. Prince, you're going to have to explain them what this is.
Chris, I think you're giving me more credit than is due. This is arroz con pollo. This is.
You hear it? You hear it?
No, I
You
just.
tell you, that sounded that kind of Spanish there. Where to call them places?
No, you hold that up, Chris. You hold that up. All right. This arroz con pollo. This is or should I say pollo? No, this arroz con pollo. This is rice with chicken. This is a typical Panamanian, you can say South American, Latin American dish, and it's canned. All right. We know St. Martin people do not like TV dinners. All right. This is not a TV dinner. This is open up, ready to go. Construction workers, those who are coming from school. You want a good meal. You don't want a Chinese meal or whatever.
Just
open it. And as Chris explained, the content is much more than it looks right here.
Yeah.
It fills up a plate.
Yeah.
All right. Put it in the microwave or hot it up in a frying pan. Whatever is equally good. It's a ready-to-go meal. You know.
$2.
$2. All right. Arroz con pollo.
Right.
Then we have here. We have gallo pinto, which is actually rice and peas. Okay. We have a next one, which is arroz con mariscos. This is a seafood low creek, call it what you want, but
I ate the one with tuna.
Of course. All right. Chris, one thing you should tell them as well about the fish products.
Oh, no. We come into that.
You come into that side. I guess I jump in the gun.
We come into that one.
All right.
And now, this is not to cry down what we have here in St. Martin.
No.
That's not it at all. What we are simply trying to bring across here is make a comparison. Listen, it's going to be very, very hard for someone to prove to me that we are not being ripped off here in St. Martin. It's going to be very, very hard. And then one would say, yeah, but Panama's a very big country. They have the people in them to demand, so they can make much more money on the large amount of people and the volume. Nonsense, right? You know cherries? We all love cherries. Those nice cherries we see them bring seasonal here in the stores. Why is the place Chiquiri? There's a place in Panama called Chiquiri. It borders Costa Rica. The guy told us in that area, is where you get all the exotic type of fruits, like the cherries, the plums, the grapes. And the thing is, it is right there in Panama. It's just a matter of you making contact, right, with the farmer. That's all it is. We saw cherries. I don't know if we have the pictures and stuff. We saw cherries, right, in a store in Panama. How much it was? A kilo or 2 kilos? 2 kilos of cherries. What would cost you 12 and 15 guilders here in St. Martin? For $1 something.
Amazing.
$1 something in Panama. Peppers. We have that picture though. The one with the peppers. We had peppers, the green pepper, the red pepper, the yellow pepper, all those sort of things. We saw them in Panama for 79 cents and stuff. What it was? A pound?
A pound.
A pound. There it is. 75 cents a pound. $1 something a pound. Here in St. Martin is $4 and $5 a pound.
Christopher, what you also should mention to the person and to the viewers out there, which you explained so eloquently, is that we're not trying to cry down what we have.
No.
All right? What we went to Panama on the initiative, we said, listen, the basic necessities.
Right.
All right. I mean, one can say water is a luxury. All right. But this is just for comparison purposes. Okay. But the basic necessities like fruits, vegetables. We're talking about rice. We're talking about seasoning peppers. We're talking about, those are the things that we decided, hey, if the luxury goods, if people want to continue to buy their luxury goods at whatever supermarket, that's okay. But here we will be bringing the basic necessities: flour, sugar. It's amazing to see in a country like that, and as Panama was open to the world for so long, right? And nobody tapped into that resources yet. I just think it's better late than never. That's my whole thing about it.
And to add to it, right? Like I said, I'm not really that much of a fish eater, but because I'm into weightlifting, what is it, bodybuilding, but it's one of my passions. We always look to see where we can get the highest content of protein, and you would see most of them, if they're not goggling down a protein shake, you will see them eating fish. And this was the biggest surprise for me when I was in Panama, and I know also for the guys who was there. There you're seeing a picture of a fish called corvina fish. Now, the fish, I don't want to exaggerate. Prince is here, he can tell you if I'm lying or not. I don't want to exaggerate, I don't want to make up a story. The fish was about this long. Seriously, I put my head next to the fish to show how long and how big the fish was. I couldn't even eat the whole thing. I couldn't. And we are talking about fish on St. Martin, right? At the tune, a fish like that on St. Martin would cost you, a meal like that on St. Martin would cost you $16. Easily. Because they'll tell you $10 alone for the fish. And like I said, I went fishing already. I went out on a boat already. And it's hard work. It's hard work. It's difficult work. I am not questioning the price of when a fisherman say, this is the price and the cost of his fish. I'm not doing it. But here's an alternative. Okay, here's where you have a choice. We had a meal where there was fish, rice, and fried plantain,
and some vegetables.
And some vegetables and stuff mixed up for $3.85. A big piece of fish for $3 and change. Here in St. Martin, that's $12 off the back. Okay? $12 off the back. And what we are saying is that these things we can bring here at affordable prices. Okay? We can bring them here, and we are going direct, because you see in those countries, and we have lost it here in St. Martin. Because I was explaining to Prince one time, and he himself told me he didn't know. I don't know if it was in town where Risdon's used to be, but there was an alley. And there used to be a fish market there. The older folks would say yes. There used to be a fish market. And Panama now has a fish market, guys. And Listen, you're going to have to put Marigot Fish Market, Simpson Bay Fish Market, maybe St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, all their fish markets put together to talk about a fish market. It's a fish market. Okay? These guys them have all sorts of fish. All right? And you want to say something?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
for those of you who don't know what corvina is, I looked it up myself because we're wondering what is this big fish? Is it snapper? Is it this? Is it that? Is basically, when I looked it up on Google, is a sea bass, which is a very tender fish. It just comes off the bone,
man.
you know. And Chris once told me, I don't eat no fish on the bone and
I
stuff.
don't eat no fish with bone. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. He ate that fish, that corvina, like it was no tomorrow, you know. And
But
that's all he was ordering.
Okay then.
That's
Every
all
restaurant.
he was ordering, this corvina, you know, and they seemed to prepare it just the way he liked it, you know. I tasted it as well, and it's a great fish. It's a great fish. Also, those are one of the things that you know, we can bring down here, you know, corvina, you know, and introduce to the
Shrimp.
people. Yeah, those things like shrimp. We paying an arm and a leg for shrimp, right? Over there, I mean, it's amazing, you know. I listen. When they told us this is the things that we can offer you guys, we wanted to see, we wanted to feel, touch. You know, call us Doubting
Taste.
Thomas. You know,
Yeah.
call us Doubting Thomas if you will. But we needed to taste, we needed to touch, we needed to feel, we needed to see prices. And we did, you know. So I can imagine if it's really difficult for you guys to understand where we're coming from, you know. The only thing I'll say, just wait and see, you know, when we bring this to your doorstep.
I believe I have a picture there with a packaging where they have some vegetables in it. I'm holding up the package. I'm not too sure. I'm going to ask the engineer to see if he can find it where it was in a store. Now, what this is all about, let me explain to you what they do in Panama. Now, because they have a lot of people who's on the go, and then when they finish work, they just want to get into the store, pick up some stuff, get home, and prepare a fast meal. But what sort of sparked my curiosity and my interest into this is job creation. In this photo, I don't know if we get it, but one of the pictures we have there, there's a packaging where you're going to see inside of it, they have one piece of yam, one piece of sweet potato, one piece of corn, a piece of pumpkin. Inside a package, they suck out all the air and they have it in the fridge. But it's already peeled, it's cut, it's pre-boiled and stuff. So it's just a matter of you. Okay, there it is. That's the picture I'm talking about. Inside of this, you can see a piece of corn, a piece of yam, a piece of dasheen, juca, and also there's pumpkin. Now I'm sorry that I can't bring the price up, but I know the price. It's $1.79. Seriously, guys, $1.79, and it's just a matter of you buying this, put it in just one time. You don't have to buy a whole pumpkin, half a pumpkin. You don't have to buy a whole piece of sweet potato. It's already there, and no, it is not done on St. Maarten. You can't find it nowhere in St. Maarten. So our minds them start to move, our curiosity start to pick, and you can imagine getting this fresh produce, right? In drums, in loads, bringing it here to St. Maarten, and you here in St. Maarten doing the packaging yourself. We are talking about job creation. We're talking about having a warehouse. And the smart thing, what they do in Panama, they put the label of the store on it. So what's going to happen? I own the warehouse, I have the packaging, and Prince have a grocery store. Billy down the road have a grocery store. Billy going to call me and say, Chris, I need 200 packs of what you're offering there. I'm going to say, okay, send me a logo. He sent me his logo. We can print the logo on his packaging, and I'm going to have the people in them there. They are peeling, they are cutting, they are washing, they are sealing, and there it goes. Off to Prince store, off to Billy's store, off to this one store. Job creation, and this is what we are talking about. It's not just making a trip. Okay, but we always question, what do those members of parliament go down to those countries and do it? Every week, if they're not off to Uruguay, they're off to Argentina, they're off to Panama, they're
Brazil.
off to Brazil, they're off to Costa Rica. Many people are asking, what is Pal Latino? Pal Latino is all the Latin American countries, including the Caribbean, all the parliaments from the Latin American countries just come together on different committees. So you will have a committee on environment, you'll have a committee on defense, you'll have a committee on health, you'll have a committee on sport, you'll have a committee on global warming. And members of parliament are picked to represent their various countries, their prospective countries in those meetings, right? Which they have to pay for. The country have to pay to be a member of Palatino. But look at it here in St. Martin, we being a small country. And our members of parliament are traveling on your money, the money of the taxpayers, going to these countries and seeing things. And when they come back, you have to sort of ask yourself the question, what are they bringing back for us? What are they doing? You know?
Well,
Prince?
not only that we're a newly formed country, you know, I always say that we are in the best position because we can look to see what other countries and their failures and their success, you know, to mimic after. We don't want to be like any other country. We want to be the country that we are. However, we can always learn from other people's mistakes and learn from their success, as I said before. What these parliamentarians are doing, and I can speak for my faction, of course, they're going there to acquire knowledge, you know, simple things like, and being exposed to different markets, all right? This is one. Who would have known and who would tell us? Would a businessman come and say, hey, Panama is there to your disposal to get fresh produce, to get these stuff at a real great price? His interest is business, all right? Our parliamentarians' interest is the people of St. Martin, all right? So that's what I can say on that subject.
Now, I was sort of saving it because I didn't even want to bring this up, but it wouldn't be fair for me not to mention how this trip, you know, came about and why we are here having this discussion today. I know the member of parliament wouldn't mind because he always told us, you know, this is one of the reasons why he's doing what he's doing. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about the member of parliament, Dr. Lloyd Richardson. Dr. Lloyd Richardson, of course, went to Panama, and in Panama he met a colleague that he went to school with many years ago in South America. And they started a conversation, and because of that discussion, we are here today with these produce and discussing an initiative that have been sprung on behalf of the Member of Parliament, Dr. Lloyd Richardson. So let me a bit sort of give some information. We don't want to disclose all the information as yet because it is still in the preliminary discussion. We are still making the contacts, we are still making the order list, we are still looking at the warehouse, we are still looking at many other things, right? Dr. Lloyd is telling us that people of St. Martin need a relief. People of St. Martin need help. People of St. Martin need to be able to eat and eat properly and eat healthy stuff. So his proposal is, listen guys, I have a warehouse, I have interest in certain things, right? Let us bring in these things and offer it to the people of St. Martin on a much cheaper price than what is being offered right now. Our job is to know and have an idea what is consumed by the majority of the people. The intention is to bring affordable and quality produce to the people. That's the main objective. That's the main objective. Okay? So you may not have a star case, but you might have a Panama tuna. And for example, like what we were so interested in is the fruits. Man, look, listen, we are accustomed of the traditional fruit, the apple, the orange, the grape, the peach, the plum, the pear.
Yeah.
But there are fruits that are grown locally here in St. Martin, not in abundance for us to market and sell in all the stores, but fruits that we love, that we enjoy, that we grew up eating. Like, for example, listen, St. Martin, and you could send it in on the chat box. You could send it in tomorrow. You could post your comments. When was the last time any of you all ate a sugar apple? Seriously, a sweet, nice sugar apple.
Chris, it has become such you can say, yeah, happening that if someone eat a sugar apple, they post it on Facebook.
Yeah,
So rare of an
so
occasion
rare,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
We have guavas here. When was the last time one of you ate a guava? Hmm? And let me just tell you something about when we read up on the nutritional facts of the
He's a
guava,
doctor. Huh?
it's astounding. All right, all the facts I don't have here with me. However, the person that is behind the guava, right, this Panamanian guava, is a doctor, and we asked him, out of all the produce that they had to grow, why guava? He explained, first of all, is the queen of the fruit, and he said, you know how much. He's a oncologist.
Oncologist.
All right. He say, the nutritional factors about this guava. A lot of people don't know, and we have, of course, the taboo of gallstones when you eat.
And he said it's contrary to that.
Yeah, he said that's hogwash. People think that when you swallow the seeds of the guava, you develop gallstones and that. But it's not so. It creates bowel movement. It's good for the skin. I mean, I can go on and on about the guava. Yeah, that's the guava. The watermelon, the passion fruit, the pineapple, the cherries.
Let me take this. Let me steal this from your part. We was in an area in Panama, like just a while ago. There was a picture up where I was holding a watermelon, right? That area. What was the name of that area? Where the guava field was?
The guava field was in
not Chiquiti. I can't pronounce the name of it, but the area is probably twice the size of St. Martin. That area alone, and it only produces fruits and vegetables. On one side you can see the guava field, and then one side it's a watermelon, and then I think that's my person there holding a guava in my hand. But what I want to say, the place is like a maze, right? He took us for a drive where we left the guava field and we went round a corner where there was a watermelon field. And then when we left there was a papaya field. And then there was a yam field. And then there was mango field. And what else? What else? So,
a lot of fields. There was all the fields there.
Listen, we was like a kid in a candy. It was surprising to us. And then I said, but wait a minute. We going wrong in a circle. He said, yes, we're on our way back to the guava field. And it's not there's no middleman. You are going, sitting down, talking to the guy that have the pick, okay, and digging and planting the produce, and he's telling you, okay, all right, I can give you a watermelon for 85 cents, so you'll buy maybe 500, 1,000 watermelons and stuff like that. You're dealing with a man right then and there, and rice. We were surprised. I know in Guyana, right, that they also have rice fields and stuff, but we were surprised to actually, see a rice paddy, a rice field, and you was knocked out with the price for rice that you saw.
What was interesting to see is that we always saw in Chinese movie where rice is put and placed in a flooded field. Here it is. These people plant the rice. And then after, they would just open the floodgates and flood the field, I mean, it is a learning experience as well for us. You can imagine these guys from St. Martin come in, who are not exposed to the farm lifestyle, who feel that they're rough and rugged and stuff. But when you see basically what's going on there, these people are doing the things with their hands, you know. Creating these amazing fields for the disposal of their people. Why not? Why can't we have the same?
Why
here,
should we miss out on
you
it?
know, miss out on great tasting fruits and that is healthy for our bodies.
As much as I like the outdoors and like the fields and the planting and stuff, I must admit that we stayed in a hotel called Hotel Malia, and that was on the side of the Pacific in Cologne, where the Panama Canal is located. We also been to the Panama Canal. We took some pictures. It was historic. It was overwhelming. It was a learning experience because it was really touching because you hear so much about Panama. You hear so much about the Panama Canal and stuff like that. But my colleague here, Prince, and it was three of us that went on the trip, a cousin of mine, Prince, and myself. And I must admit, both of them, they love the country. They love that side because, and the area, there was a lake. And surprisingly, we didn't even know. The Panama Canal, right, that body of water where the ships are coming in from the Pacific and they're coming into Panama, that's a lake. That's a fresh water body. We didn't even know that. That it was fresh water that they're using, and they're also building a second canal in Panama that will be much deeper and much wider, right? But I'm a country, those guys are the country fella, and I love the city. We went into Panama City, and that was my thing. I felt that was above civilization. But, it was amazing to see guys and them planting stuff. You've seen it right there. Yeah, that's the Panama Canal. That's what it looks like.
Chris, one thing I wanted to note out, you can say why Panama and stuff, it was a coincidence that we actually got the contact to go there. However, let me tell you this. St. Maarten, just like Panama, share a similarity, and that is that the country has been abused and misused, taken advantage of. Call it what you may, politics or whatever, it has been abused. They was explaining us that the existence of the Panama Canal,
80-something years.
about 80-something years, and
that the Americans had
exactly.
85 years that the Americans had it.
Exactly. And upon giving it back, they paid the Panamanian government close to, so not even, close to $1 billion, right?
In the 85 years.
In the
85 years that the Americans had
occupied
the Panama Canal, they came close to paying the Panamanian government close to $1 billion.
And the comparison is that in the 7 years that the Panamanian
No, in the 12 years.
In the 12 years, sorry. The 12 years that the Panamanian government has taken control of it and, really working the canal, they have generated already close to $7 billion US dollars. Now, you do the math.
Yeah.
All right?
85 years compared to 12 years.
If that's not taken advantage of and that's not being ripped off, then tell me what is. The same thing here. We are being ripped off basically, all right, in the supermarkets. We need to eat, so what else to do? The big supermarkets, they jack up on prices, and because the little corner shop have to buy from the big supermarkets.
And no price control.
No price control. And because of the corner shop needs to buy from the big supermarkets and make their profit, prices are sky high. Enough is enough, So that's the similarities.
Mm-hmm.
So here we have Panama being ripped off by the American people, all right, and St. Maarten being ripped off
By everybody.
By everybody, exactly.
Right.
So
By everybody.
this is something that we share in common, and we just feel enough is enough. All right, so that's what I had to share on that little subject.
Yeah, and it's to let us know that there's an alternative, and and I just say it most of the time here on St. Maarten. I could come here every night and beat up on government and government this and government that, but it is incumbent upon us to want better. Why? Because I believe we deserve better and we deserve more. Now, St. Maarten has been nice to everyone. St. Maarten has welcomed everyone to its shores, right? However, in some point in time, the people of St. Maarten should be the one, first and foremost, benefiting from all that is there to offer in St. Maarten, Prince. I mean, we have said it here so many times. You cannot have a budget in the excess of 300 million guilders, and children still go to school hungry. Children still go to sleep. It is something that I can't comprehend. I simply can't understand. But we will rush and destroy our ecosystem, destroy our sovereignty, destroy our environment at the tune of 40 plus million dollars. And it leaves one to ask, where's our priority?
Yeah.
And who are paying for it? The reason, one of the reasons for inflation right now, one of the reasons for prices being what they is right now, is simply because the harbor and the former minister Tia Heiliger decide to go and build a bridge in the lagoon, and by doing that, they put up the price of every container coming in. And who have to pay for it? Prince own a store, so Prince is going to pass on that price to the consumer. So when you was paying what, $2 for a 3 pound of rice, you're now paying $3.25, because he's not going to take that loss. Where the price control? But it's for us as a people to say, you know what? I think, Chris, you're right. We deserve better. We deserve more. And you know how you can get that change? Start knocking on those doors of the parliamentarians. You know why? Come 2014, all you have to tell them, whenever you see a member of parliament, and even a minister, whenever you see one of them, and you ask them a question and they're going to tell you to listen to you and they can't worry you, you just have to say one thing. All right, 2014 we're going to see.
And that's you can say that's a eye opener, because now you have, never before was there just in 4 years election.
Yeah,
I
said it here. Yeah, you're right. He's absolutely correct.
So now we used to have a central election,
yeah,
and an island election,
yeah,
right? Now it's one election every 4 years.
Yeah. So this is one of the hardest times for the people of St. Maarten.
Of course.
So if you're feeling the crunch and you're feeling the pinch, it goes to tell you why we have to start to think different and move away from this waiting for election to get what we want. Because there no more are we ever probably going to see elections again in St. Maarten every 2.5 years. It's not going to happen no more. Everybody in St. Maarten have to wait now 4 years for election. Right around 4 years. Okay?
Chris, coming back to the point with this initiative as well, bear in mind that we had the closing of Parliament, right? And you hear the parliamentarians standing up and giving their closing remarks, and saying, listen, we are here for the people, judge us by our actions, and we are fighting for the people and stuff, This in our way. This is our fight for the people.
Yep.
All right. And as laid back as I may sound right now, let common sense kick in and know that you want fruits, you want fresh produce, you want a bang for your buck, as they say. All right. Look out for this initiative. All right.
We even have a name now, but we're gonna leave
we're gonna disclose that
for later on.
Exactly.
So again. Fiji imported, right, to St. Maarten. This is a liter, and this is a liter. This is 1 liter in Panama. This is 1 liter in St. Maarten. In Panama, this is 60 cents. Retail. In St. Maarten, this is about close to $2 retail.
Yeah.
You make your choice. And we are saying that we will be bringing this here in St. Maarten. Bringing it here in St. Maarten. All right? For probably around the same price. 60 cents, 70 cents, 75 cents. Probably. Okay? But we guarantee it will be much affordable, much cost effective than anything else you're going to find on St. Maarten.
Christopher, I can imagine one might be wondering why yet another water to fluctuate the market and stuff. Let's just put it this way: why not? If you can get this water and it forces the prices of this to go down, all right, then we know half our work is done. We're not here to make any X amount of profit on the people's heads. On the heads of
rich
St. Maarten.
overnight.
This is an initiative to bring to our people that we have an alternative. All right,
Providing a
you can
service.
either go and get your groceries. Nobody holding a gun to your head and say, "Hey, buy from us" and stuff. Go get your groceries if you have the budget, if you have. But we know that the people of St. Maarten right now are suffering.
Yeah.
We know that, everybody have it hard, from captain to cook, they have it hard, and we are offering a service at a better price. And yeah, basically you can take it or you can say, no, I going to give my money somewhere else. All right, so that's what I
Prince,
have to say.
I'm going to ask you to continue talking. I'm going to try to see if I can get a knife or something so I could bust this guava in two so I can show the people what inside looks like. So I'm going to ask my engineer to switch it over and let me see if I can get a knife or anything to bust this in two.
All right, let me just say we spoke about being in Cologne, which was basically used as a military base for the Americans. We went to the hotel and it was really nice. The people of Panama treated us really well. We felt right at home. The only thing is that they spoke Spanish, but they look like me and you, and because of the canal, you would see names like Davis, you would see names like Smith, you would see names like, the only thing we didn't see there was a Richardson, and my colleague, being the people's person that he is, he would ask them, tell me,
Where you from?
where you from? And they would say, well, I'm Panamanian. And so he was like, no, but where are your forefathers from? And you would hear, from St. Kitts, you would hear
Jamaica,
from
Barbados.
Jamaica, Barbados, so you would see that just like any movement, when there was work in any part of the Caribbean, there was an influx of immigrants and stuff. But people look just like you and I, and that was in Cologne, and in Panama City, the same thing. We stayed at the Rue Hotel, which was
Yeah, man.
it was nice, and we enjoyed ourselves. Really sky-rise hotel.
Yeah.
We
on
enjoyed
30th
ourselves.
floor.
Yes,
We was up on the 30th floor.
Yeah.
Okay, I managed to get a cut up. This is, let me see if I can bring it close up to the camera. This is what inside of the Panamanian guava looks like. It's white. And this is what the inside of the St. Maarten guava looks like, sort of pinkish and stuff like that. But the taste
and the texture.
and the texture.
Let me just while Christopher is eating, it's not polite to talk with your mouth full, but while Christopher is eating, let me just say that I was basically concerned because I was like, boy, look at those guavas, St. Maarten. People are accustomed of the pink texture inside, boy, what are we going to tell the people and stuff? And Chris was like, Prince, I ate this kind of guava already, and trust me, when I took a slice of this guava, it was nice in texture, soft, and equally sweet, and my worries was over. That was basically what it was about.
What we forgot to mention, we brought back and we paid over $300 in overweight. We brought back 2 boxes full
Mhm.
of Panamanian guavas here in St. Martin. And we was giving them out to people. And in 1 week, both box, we have about how much, 12 or 15? We have about 12 or 15 left in our office on display. We had people calling us and coming back because they couldn't believe, first time they have seen a guava so big. Secondly, it was strange to them that the guava was green, but inside it was ripe, and you can eat it like an apple. You see? And they are finished, done, over with. And people say, but how are you going to market this? How are you going to bring this out to the people? Say, Martin, consumers are funny. It's just a matter of slicing them up and having them on display, and you pass and you taste it for yourself.
So instead of having an apple and you're telling a child, go to school with an apple. Here's an apple, son. You say, hey, here's a guava. You
Our
can
own
go to
thing.
school. You know, our own thing, indigenous fruit.
Our own
One
thing.
thing I want to mention is that my aunt, she goes around selling her fruits, you know, fruit bowls. So what I did, I gave her a few of these. And the people are asking her up to today, you know, when are we going to get a taste of those guavas again? You know, so I'm just saying we need to make this quick and make this a reality to the people.
Martin people, Panamanian guava. We are down to the last minute in the program. We done busting in the guava already, so we're going to leave it so. Take care of yourselves, and Martin. Prince, I want to thank you very much for coming on the program. Right?
you.
My colleague in the faction office for the National Alliance. Guys, take care of yourself. God bless each and every one of you guys. Goodbye.
There was a time when people dare not utter a word. There was a time when people were in the dark and searching for accurate information. Just when all hope is lost and frustration hangs in the balance, SXMTalk emerges and broke the silence. Join host Christopher Emmanuel for live and serious discussions and hard talk.